Hey, Oliver, where are you right now? I finally had our baby and you're not even around to come and see its face?
I'm sorry, Karen. I had some things going on.
You had things going on that are more important than your baby being born? Even both my parents and your parents are here with me. Why is the father of this child the only one not present?
If you already have your mom and dad and my parents there to see the baby, then I don't have to be there, right? I'm busy at the moment, getting ready to run off with a new woman. So please just shut up for me.
What? Did you just say you're going to run off with a new woman?
Sorry about that, Karen. I'm not going to be able to stick around with you to raise that baby. I'm leaving this house, so please care for it on your own.
Huh? You hold it right there. What do you mean you're not sticking around to raise our baby? And you're running off with a new woman? Are you telling me that while I've been pregnant, you've been cheating on me with another woman?
Hey! Don't get too far ahead of yourself there. I've not been cheating on you. It's only that I haven't been able to forget about my ex-girlfriend this whole time.
Your ex-girlfriend?
I'm sure I've told you about her before, right? This is the ex-girlfriend that I've been dating for 10 years before I married you. A lot happened between us, so we were never able to go through with the marriage. But this whole time I've been with you, I've still had a bit of fire in my heart for her.
What?
I thought that by getting married to you, that love for her would fade. And by having a kid with you, that would do the trick for getting me to forget her, but even after hearing that we were having a kid, I've not been able to forget her. So that's why I've gone ahead and told her that I want her back.
You're lying, right? Wait a second. I have gone 9 months now carrying our baby that you wanted me to have so badly for you, and never getting a break during that whole time. And now, after I had just gone through labor to have our baby, you're going to tell me that you're running back to your ex-girlfriend?
I only texted her about it today, but to my surprise, she said it was totally fine for me to go back to her. It looks like I wasn't the only one wanting to go back to the past relationship I had with her. She told me that after hearing about how I'd gotten married to you, she's been sad this whole time. She wants me back with her, so I have no other choice now but to go back.
So you're telling me that the plan now is to run back to her and then the both of you are going to peace out? Even though your baby was just born?
Oh, nobody's going to stop the love we have with one another. There are plenty of single mothers in this world, so you'll be just fine. So I'm leaving the baby and all that in your hands now.
No way.
I'm going to be running off now, so you can go ahead and keep living in that house. You won't even have to pay any rent for the place, so that should make life a little bit easier for you, right?
Please, Oliver, come here right now. I would like for all of us to talk about this before you just run off like that. You haven't even taken a look at your baby's face either. I'm sure when you take a good look at your baby's face, your mind will be changed. Hey, you're going to try to use your baby to keep your relationship together? That's not a good sign. I guess after becoming a mother, you forgot how to be a decent human, huh? What? Nice to meet you, Karen. This is Oliver's ex-girlfriend, Amber. I'm glad you made it through the labors of giving birth to a child, and I'm sorry that I am stealing Oliver from you now. Ah, you're Oliver's ex-girlfriend? He and I are married right now, and I just gave birth to our child. You give Oliver back to me right now. Say that all you want to me, but Oliver is only interested in me now, and I'm not giving him back to you because he was mine in the first place. Huh? There is not another man around me who is as cool and kind as Oliver. And back when I heard about him marrying another woman besides me, I was really heartbroken. But to hear that even after having a child with you, he would still rather be back in my arms, well, it's gotten me all excited. I'm sorry for being such a gorgeous ex-girlfriend. Well, it's not that I'm so gorgeous, but rather you're just not good-looking enough. It's really sad that you weren't able to keep your husband away from his ex.
Excuse me?
Well, good luck being a single mother. In return, I'll make sure to make Oliver the happy man he always should have been around you. Just think of that baby as being Oliver and raise it with all the love you gave him.
Can you give me that house soon? I'm not happy about how you went and changed the lock on the door without ever telling me.
What? Oliver?
Jesus. It's been 10 years and I'm wanting to come back into my house. And now I can't even get in. Hurry up and let me in. Do you have any idea whose house this is?
Wait a second, Oliver. You came all the way back to this house? Even though 10 years ago you ran off with that Amber chick of yours?
Amber and I have broken up. That's why I've made the trip all the way back to my house.
You guys broke up?
Well, a lot happened. And after breaking up, I thought I should find a place to lay low for a while and be by myself. That's when I thought about my house, and I haven't been back in a long time. That's why I want you to get to it and let me inside. I'm the owner of this house.
So since you've come all the way back here, does this mean you want to live with us again? You want to be with me? And with my daughter?
Are you kidding? Why would I want to live with the woman I left behind 10 years ago? And that daughter of yours? I've never even seen her before. I've nothing to do with that brat, so there's no way I want to be living here with two of you here as well. I've come all the way back here, so you and that kid of yours, get out of there now.
What did you say?
Why are you getting so upset? The owner is back in town, so I have the final say. I've been so kind these past 10 years, letting you both stay in here. But now that I want the place back for myself, you squatters need to get lost.
You hold it right there. I don't mind having to leave this house, but what do you mean you have nothing to do with my daughter? You are still her father, whether you want to accept that or not.
I get that she shares the same blood as me, so biologically I'm her father. It's been 10 years. I still haven't seen her face yet. It'd be wild of me to think of her as my family. I don't know who she is.
What the?
Also, since I ran off the moment she was born, that means she's now, 10 years old, right? Had I come back after a year when she was still a baby, she'd probably still be cute to me. But now she's one of those annoying little runts that goes to elementary school. I actually hate brats her age the most. I cannot stand their high-pitched voices and stupid behaviour.
You really love to call your own daughter a brat? I guess you never stopped growing into a worse person after leaving me. I haven't even heard a sorry from you yet for leaving me 10 years ago. All you're back here for is the house, showing no emotion towards me or your daughter and just wanting us gone.
Say whatever you'd like about me, but this house is still going to be mine. My name is on it after all. So you don't get a say in what I do with it, and who gets to live in it. If anything, you should be thankful I've let you live here for 10 years without kicking you both out. I want to hear you thank me. Right now.
Huh? You think you were being so kind, but did you forget about paying things like child support? I am not going to give you anything back now after 10 years of having to literally support my daughter on my own.
Oh, what are you going on about now? This house was built in one of the best parts of town. The cost of having to pay taxes and for utilities on a place like that costs far more than even 2 months of child support. So think of all those costs that I've been paying off as part of the child support. Since you've been able to raise your daughter in such a good part of town, I'm sure she's grown into a good little girl, right? They always say to have a good neighbourhood when raising a kid, and this place is perfect for her.
They say good environment, not neighborhood. The neighborhood is, of course, important, but it's not everything. There are things like whether the child has both parents around them and whether or not there is a stable flow of money into the house. And there has to be enough activities going on to keep the child happy. There are a lot of things that are really important to a child for their growth, meaning that it's not only about the neighborhood.
You're starting to talk too much. I've had enough of your whining, so go grab the little brat and get out of here. What other choice do you have? Do you think you can just keep living in there without paying for anything? Well, I don't mind calling the police on you right now, having them arrest you for trespassing.
Excuse me?
Then, when you go to court, I'll have the judge make you pay me back for the last 10 years of living in that house. How does that sound to you? But remember, a poor, single mother like you would never have the kind of money to pay me all that, so think wisely right now.
You have really fallen into hell, haven't you? All you care about is yourself. And never think for a second that there could be other things going on that don't revolve around you. I wonder how much longer you'll be able to get away with being a totally selfish prick before someone bigger than you comes along and squashes you.
Shut up. I'm done with all this. Now, get the hell out of my house. This is my house. My name is on the place, and I've been living there forever. I don't need some poor woman and her annoying brat living in it anymore. Give me my dang house back.
We've moved out of there a long time ago.
What?
So tell the person currently living there that and see what they think. From the very start, my daughter and I haven't been in that house.
Hey, what do you mean by that? Who's living in this house now, then? You're telling me that you haven't been living in this house with your daughter for the past 10 years.
The moment I had my baby, my husband ran off with another chick, right? After something like that, it was pretty obvious to me that I wouldn't be able to raise her in that large house when it's just the two of us. So right after getting out of the hospital, I took my baby and some things and went back to my parents' house. And with the help of my mom and dad, I've been able to raise my daughter with not too many worries.
Huh? I have been letting you borrow this house all this time, and you haven't even been living in it.
I never asked for you to let us live in it while you ran off, right? But leaving a house empty like that isn't a great use of such a gorgeous place, right? And not too long after going back to my parents' house, there were people asking to live in it.
Don't you freaking dare tell me you've been renting the place out to some strangers now.
Don't worry. You happen to know the person just as much as I do, so they're not a stranger.
So then the person living here, I know them.
Someone you know, or one might say, a friend of a friend. I happen to let your ex-girlfriend's parents move into that house.
What? Amber's parents?
At the time, they felt the most responsible for what happened. They even came all the way out to the hospital to apologize to my parents and I for what their daughter did. And as a way of showing that they were sorry, they said they'd go live in your house that you left behind.
Wait. This doesn't make any sense. Why'd they come and live in my house as a way of apologizing to you? What kind of apology is that?
They both told me that they wanted to catch the two of you in order to get you both to pay me back for all you'd done. So they'd said they'd stay in your house and wait for the eventual day you'd come back to it.
What?
They said they didn't mind how long it took you to come back, because the longer it took you to come back, the longer they got to live in that nice home. They also told me that when they were able to catch you, they'd make sure you both paid a settlement to me and all the child support you owe. So I told them it was the perfect way of saying sorry to me and let them move in a few days after I had my daughter.
So you're telling me that at this house, the one I've been banging on the door for the past 30 minutes,
that's where Amber's parents are living. So now that I know you're there, I'm going to give them a call. I'll let them both know that the man outside their house right now is the one we've been looking for. The one that ran off with their daughter, leaving his wife and baby behind. That crappy excuse for a man. I'm calling them right now.
What?
A lot happened that made you both break up. I've known for a long time about how you both broke up. The moment that Amber became pregnant, you told her that you hate kids and then left her.
No.
I always thought that the moment you left her, you'd come right back home. And not even a day after hearing about you leaving her, you're right back in town. Well, good luck now. You are going to have to deal with her parents now, as well as with whoever else might be involved, like Amber and her baby. I'm also going to let your parents know that you're back in town.
No freaking way. This is, not good. You're joking, right? There's no way her parents are living here. Amber's parents are crazy.
I don't think you should call them crazy. But you're not wrong to be afraid of them. Especially when they both work for the state police. I heard that the two of them have a lot of influence in both the police force and in the court system. That's why they're both dead set on having you pay me everything I'm owed. Now, good luck with what happens next.
Please help me. If I can't get out of this mess, I'm going to be killed.
Huh?
Amber's parents are so pissed off with me right now that I'm scared for my life. Her dad is holding an axe in one hand and has been standing right beside me the whole time. They keep yelling at me, asking why I threw you away after having our baby, and then ran off with their daughter. And they're asking me why I've done it twice now. Her dad keeps telling me that I'm going to take responsibility for all my actions, and that the only other choice for me lies on the other end of that axe.
Well, they want to know why you did all that. You left me and my baby to run off with their daughter 10 years ago. And by how they apologized to me back then, they weren't all too happy with you, but then, just a decade later, you did the same thing again, but this time to their daughter who just had her baby. And you thought you could just run back to your house and not be punished for all that? I don't blame them for wanting to kill you.
But I never wanted a kid. The reason I ran away from you was to be alone with her and live life as only the two of us. But recently Amber just kept going on and on and on about wanting a baby of her own. She must have stopped taking birth control without telling me, and that's how she got pregnant. And after telling me she was pregnant, she instantly started talking about the cost of raising a baby and that we need to change in order to become proper parents for it. I was freaked out at the time by how quickly things changed on me. I didn't know what to do.
So you've just been destined to always run off with other women the moment your current lady has a kid? But this time, things changed for you, right? This time, instead of finding another woman to run off with, leaving Amber behind, you left her and ran back to your house to try and live as a single man. All in order to run from your responsibilities again, huh? What a joke you are.
What did you call me?
This is going to be your last chance to take responsibility for all you've done. There is no more running away from everything you've done, and you'll have to answer for it all now. There isn't even a place for you to hide anymore.
This is screwed. It looks like Amber's come here now as well. Her parents called for her to come here while her dad was dealing with me, and now they're all here waiting to welcome me into hell. I can hear everyone yelling at me to be a man and take responsibility for everything I've done. I'm screwed. This is it for me.
That's right. Now that you've come back out of hiding, you're going to have to pay 10 years worth of child support to me and another 8 years after. Then you are going to be asked to marry, forced to marry Amber and live a life under tight control as her parents watch your every move, trying to take care of her and your baby. I really hope they're able to help you along in a life that is more than just you running at every chance you get.
What? I have to pay you child support as well?
Of course you did, you idiot. Even if you don't love my daughter any, she is still your child. Your parents have been kind enough to send me money every so often, but that doesn't make up for everything you should owe me. And there are still years to come that you'll have to send me money. So now that you are aware of all that, have a nice time talking with everyone some more. Hey, what the hell is up with this invoice you've sent me? Why do I have to pay you a settlement now? You're asking me? Because you went and stole my husband from me. For a long time now, I didn't know where you guys ran off to, so I couldn't send you the information about it. So I'm really happy you both are back in town now. I will finally be able to get all the money I deserve. I'm not messing around here. I have a child now that I need to support. Who in their right mind would take money from a new mother? Well, that's your situation now, but 10 years ago you didn't have a kid. And by the way, the only reason you were able to get married to Oliver was because of me, right? I was finally able to get that divorce from Oliver after he came back, giving you the chance to be his wife finally. You finally will never have to worry about becoming a single mother because your husband is forced to be with you. I want you to thank me for all that and give me the money I've asked for. Shut up. I'm not thankful for any of this now that it's all going to be the worst marriage in the history of man. I would much rather be a single mother now instead of having to pay you all this money. You would? But you were finally married to Oliver, but you'd rather lose all that so you don't have to pay me? My life with him is horrible and would only be made worse by having to pay you. I was happy at first to have my dad force him to marry me, but this isn't the marriage I thought we'd have. Oliver won't even look at me anymore, and I feel just as alone as I did without him around. What makes all of this worse is that he has to pay a lot of money as well, so his excuse to me for never being around is that he's working all day. And the moment he gets home, he goes right to bed. He doesn't seem to give a crap about me and the baby, and it's making me want to give up on life. Wow. Well, that's not quite a romantic and loving marriage, now is it? And after trying to talk with my dad about it, he just tells me to shut up and be happy for what I have. I thought he was here to support me, and it doesn't feel that way at all. My dad's even told me that he did his part getting Oliver to marry me, and that he doesn't care about what happens after. Nobody in this world is listening to me. I even tried going back to see my mom and dad, but they won't let me into their house unless I bring the baby. Well, I don't blame them. They had to do everything in their power to get your life back on track with Oliver, and after having to wait 10 years to do that, they've had enough. I'm sure they still love you and all that, but deep down they just really want to focus on their own lives and not their petty and annoying daughter. With the way things are going, though, I'm not going to be able to raise my baby. I never knew that Oliver hated kids this much. I thought that after getting married, he'd stop whining about the baby, but he's only gotten worse. If nothing changes with him, then my child is going to grow up with practically no father. Don't worry. Don't worry. I was able to raise my daughter without ever having her father around. If anything, you'll be better off than me because your husband is still in the house with you and making money for your baby. Huh? So please stop whining about how hard your life is and be happy with what you have. I already spoke with Oliver about this, but the environment a baby is raised in is very important. So do your best to raise them in a place where they feel loved and supported. And don't forget, you still owe me money, and I'd like that sent to me soon. After that, I was able to get both settlements sent to my bank account from Oliver and Amber. This was also followed by the remaining child support I required from Oliver and this month's as well. I'm not sure how they were all able to pay me that quickly, but something tells me their parents stepped in to pay me for them. And when it comes to how those two are living together now, they are still not able to converse with one another, and their marriage really is just the most depressing thing. And even with his baby at home and his wife asking him to help out all the time, Oliver goes to work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day trying to make money in order to pay off all he owes. Amber's pretty much been left on her own with her baby and is trying her best to make things work with what little she has. When it comes to myself, I've finally been given all the money I'd been wanting, and am now able to take my family on a trip to some theme park to treat my daughter to the fun she's been wanting to have. I know that from here, I'm going to have to start saving up for her future choices of going to college or something, so having this money from both Oliver and Amber has made it a lot easier to entertain my girl.